Greetings, everyone. Happy Sunday. How y'all doing today? I am the Moon Mama, and this is our Master Nodal class. We are in a profound turning point. These next few weeks towards the new moon eclipse in Virgo at the 29th degree are going to be a profound shifting point for us. And the question is, are you paying attention? Are you listening? Are you watching? Are you paying attention to the signs and the symbols? Because the universe is speaking to you directly. And if you are listening and paying attention, then you're on a great adventure. Because I know I'm on a motherfucking great adventure, y'all. I am on a great adventure. Oh my gosh. And I feel myself starting to come out of the woods. Like, I have been in the woods for 18 years, y'all. Last time the nodes were in Virgo and Pisces, when the South Node was in Virgo like it is now, I had a baby. I had a baby. So we are closing a 19-year cycle. And so 19 years ago, the node was in Virgo. I had a baby, and I went down a rabbit hole because I gave birth to a child who had an extra chromosome. So it totally changed my life. All of a sudden, I went from being a single woman. I wasn't single, I was married, but we were married and without children. And then we were married with a child who had special needs or a diagnosis. And that opened up a whole new world to me that I didn't even know existed, y'all. I remember one time going to the convention center in Los Angeles for a convention for people with special needs, and I saw thousands of people in all manner of experiences of their own humanity in their bodies, families. It blew my mind. I was like, who knew this was going on here? And I started, like, I would go when we would, do like special needs sports and things like that. There are parents who bring their children who are bedridden. They bring the beds out, y'all. They bring the beds out on wheels, and they run around baseball fields and do all sorts of things with their children who have different capacities, abilities, or inabilities in their bodies, and a whole world. I was just like, oh my gosh. And it was a great adventure. It was a tough one because I got to see the world in a way that I would have never seen it had I not said yes to having a child who had a different experience. And I'll tell you about that, because when I was pregnant, I was 38, and I took an amniocentesis, and the test came back that my child would likely have what they call Down syndrome. And I also found out, because I had just had a miscarriage months before, that I had a sickle cell trait, and I didn't know I had a sickle cell trait. And so when I discovered that I had a sickle cell trait, that was a big deal, because then my husband at the time also had a sickle cell trait. So we didn't know, and now it was like, okay, if we're gonna have a baby, then we have a chance of that child having sickle cell. And I was a straight no to that. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not raising a child who is in physical pain. I'm not made for that. And for whatever reason, we tried again, and we got pregnant, and I got the test again, and the test said your child is going to have Down syndrome. And so I was contemplating terminating the pregnancy. And there's a woman, her name is June Gatlin. She was Michael Jackson's private spiritualist. And I knew her, and I still know her. And I started getting messages, like people were calling me, friends were calling me saying, June is looking for you, June. And I was scared, y'all. I was like, oh my God. And when June finally got hold of me, she said, Monique, I don't know what's going on with you, darling, but whatever it is, you have to fulfill it. If you do not, you won't make it. That's what she said to me, y'all. She said, whatever is going on with you, my honey, darling, you have to fulfill it. And if you do not, you will not make it. You will perish. And I was like, what? So my husband and I at the time decided to go to, I don't think I told him the full thing because I didn't want him to feel pressured. I didn't want him to feel pressured. I didn't want him to feel like he had to do something. So I said to him, we have to make a decision and we have to decide separately. You have to have a yes and I have to have a yes. If we have one no, we will terminate this pregnancy. But if we have two yeses, we will move forward. And we both started seeing a therapist on our own. And I knew that I had a yes, but I also knew that if something happened to me, he would have to have his own yes. It couldn't be my yes. He would have to be willing to do it on his own if I wasn't here. And I was like, and so we took a month. The doctors told me you have 1 month to decide because after this month, you can't terminate. And I was really pregnant. I was already feeling the baby, okay? And so my son's father came back with a yes. And his yes was deep and rooted in an experience, a supernatural experience he had with his grandfather. And so we were both a yes, and we moved forward with the pregnancy. And my son is here, and he is the light of the world, is what he is. When he was born, the woman who called me to say that you have to move forward or you will not make it, she came to my delivery, and there was a doctor there trying to get me to have a C-section because I was in labor for a long time. And this woman, I remember I was in a lot of pain, and the door opened, and June stepped into the door. It was like the angels opened, literally like heaven opened up. It's like, ah! And she came in, and she said, we're going to get rid of this doctor. And sure enough, the doctor came in 20 minutes later and said, my daughter had an emergency, and I have to go. And she left. And then a Nigerian woman came in to take over, who was a midwife, and she said, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And I said, I want to deliver this child naturally. And she said, then you have to listen to everything I tell you to do. Everything I say, you must do it. And she said, turn over on your side. And I had to turn over on my side for like an hour, and then turn over on the next side for like an hour. And I was in agony, y'all. I was in pain and just pain. And then she said, okay, you're ready. And then I opened up my legs, and she said, are you ready? Push. She said, push like you pushing out something out of your anus, like you're pushing out poop. Push like you're pushing out poop. And I pushed with everything I had, and I pushed that baby out in 15 minutes. And I labored for 17 hours and pushed that baby out in 15 minutes. And my son's father had to go have some teeth extracted immediately after because his teeth started hurting from all the, it was intense, y'all. But I opened up a new realm now. Now I know what was going on. I didn't get it then, but because I've been doing this work for so long and I understand astrology and cosmology now, I opened up a new portal to my power. Before that happened, before I was pregnant, I was praying for the Creator to show me my path. And I thought it was outside of me, but my path came from saying yes to that experience. And that experience developed me. It developed my psychic abilities. It developed my intuition. It developed my ability to heal. It developed me, and I found my path through myself. So, are you listening? Are you listening to the messages that the universe is sending you? Are you willing to go through the deep experiences that are scary and challenging so that you will discover who you really are and what you're made of? That's what this is about, y'all. Like these experiences, heartbreak, a cheating spouse, a health challenges, they are designed to help you remember who you are. And without them, you are weak. Without them, you are weak. Without the experiences and the challenges and the turmoil that make you discover the more of yourself, you won't become the more of yourself. So with that, you all, today is a great day. We're in this eclipse season for you to get clear about, because we're about to have an eclipse and the reality is about to turn, and we're going into a portal right now in these next month or so. Whatever is in your life right now that you are running from, whatever's in your life, if you feel like you need to quit a job or a relationship, do it. Do it. And make the universe prove to you who you are, because that is the key, you all. It has to come through you. It's the revolution of the caterpillar from the butterfly. And I'm a butterfly now, y'all. I'm a butterfly now because I did the work and I said yes to it. Under threat. I did it under threat. Like literally, June called me and said, you are going to die. All right? And I did it under threat, but I did it. It doesn't matter how you do it. It just matters that you do it. It just matters that you do. All right, y'all. If y'all need any support, if you want to sign up for Daughters of the 13 Moons, the portal is open today for Daughters of the 13 Moons. For those of you who are interested in joining, you don't have to be a woman. Men can join. Men are welcome. But we're working on feminine power, and men need feminine power almost more than women do, but everybody needs it. But the portal is open, and you can find that in my link tree, or send me a private message and I will send it to you so you can join today. And if you want to sign up for coaching and natal chart coaching and whatever it is, go to my website or purchase the book, the Virgo season book, which is at my website, which is healwithmoonmama.com, or in my link tree here on Instagram. And that workbook is a guide through the system, through your own self. It's through yourself, because I use the astrology to help us see, to help you look in the mirror of your life. What's going on? And do you have the courage to step into it? Do you have the courage, or are you going to go back? It doesn't matter. Whatever is up to you. But whatever you're running from, it ain't going nowhere, y'all. It ain't going nowhere. That's all I can say. Peace and blessings. I love y'all. Bye.